Hey folks, how's it going? All right, so the second article I wanted to talk to you about today, I just found out about it last night, but I had so much going on last night, I didn't have a chance to get a video out. So, federal agency considering ban on gas stoves. This is all over the news and all over prepper channels. Officials believe that it will improve indoor air quality. Now, this particular article comes from The Hill. A federal agency is considering a ban on gas stoves due to concerns about indoor pollution being linked to childhood asthma. In December of 2022 study, a U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commissioner told Bloomberg that using gas stoves has a hidden hazard. Nationally, researchers say gas stoves are a contributor to asthma at a rate of 13%. WPRI, cooking with a gas stove could soon be a thing of the past. A federal agency is considering a ban on gas stoves due to concerns about indoor pollution being linked to childhood asthma, according to a report from Bloomberg News. In the December 2022 study, a U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commissioner told Bloomberg that using gas stoves has a hidden hazard. Researchers say the chemicals emitted from the appliance while in use are a significant trigger, saying that nitrogen dioxide, in particular, is known to cause respiratory distress and asthma attacks. Nationally, researchers say gas stoves are a contributor to asthma at a rate of 13%. That about 35% of households in the U.S. use a gas stove, which is causing some controversy. I'm going to tell you what the controversy is here in a minute. Dozens of local governments, including Los Angeles, New York, Los Angeles and New York are already mandating new homes and businesses run either electric rather than gas appliances, while about 20 states responded by forbidding such bans. Obviously, getting rid of a gas stove and replacing it with another technology eliminates the source, but you can do quite a bit with ventilation, said John Levy with the Boston University of Public Health. Levy said ventilation isn't the final answer for every kitchen with a gas stove, especially if it's a smaller home. Previous Stanford University research found leaks from gas stoves alone produce planet-warming pollution equal to 500,000 gas-powered cars each week. For those considering switching to an electric stove, President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act includes rebates which help switch from gas to electric. Okay, so that last paragraph tells you what this is all about. Previous Stanford University research found leaks from gas stoves alone produce planet-warming pollution equal to 500,000 gas-powered cars a week. That's the whole issue with this. That's what this is all about. It's not about the link to asthma. They're using that as the primary push, but this is another of the attacks against using fossil fuels. That's exactly what this is. This is another part of the push to get people off of natural gas and oil in general, off of fossil fuels into green energy. They're using the link to asthma as the primary push, but then they told you what it really was right there at the last of the article. Planet warming pollution. This is all about climate change. I swear to God. People obsessed with climate change, people that are so obsessed with that, it's like a cult. It really is. It's like some sort of fanatical religious cult. I'm not going to deny global warming is an issue. I might debate some of the causes and some of the methodologies and some of the reasoning behind it. I'm not going to deny that climate change is real. But again, I might argue some of the details of the debate. But this right here, they're going to keep going until they try to put everyone on electric. Everything's going to be green electric. In the process, they're going to destroy a nation to do it. And they don't care. there's a push to put everybody on green electric energy, to get everybody away from fossil fuels, because for a long time, politicians and elite had business ties to the oil industry. So as the oil industry boomed and did so well, these elite would make money off of that. Now the social agenda, the social narrative is turning away from oil and fossil fuels to green energy. And they see this as an opportunity to change directions so that they can make money on this new green revolution that's happening. And there might also be some portion of this that's being pushed by the Great Reset agenda. But the only reason they're pushing this so hard is because they believe they can make money off of it, just like they did off of the oil and gas boom. A lot of the public is turning their backs on oil and gas because of how dirty it is. And again, this, if you think about it, if you stop and really think about all of this, you've got the fanatics, again, which are like a religious cult when it comes to climate change. And then you've got the people that think, okay, well, there's this group of people that seem to be a majority that want us to switch to green energy. It's in our best interest to switch our support from oil and gas to green energy now, so that when this boom really takes off, we can make a fortune off of it. That's what this is all about. These people really don't care about climate change. The elite don't, anyway. They don't really care about climate change. They care about the money behind it and the power that goes along with it. And they're using the fanatics, the cults, the climate change cult, to set themselves up to make themselves even more wealthy than they already are. That's what this whole article is about. So, do I believe that they're going to get away with this? I don't know if they'll be able to actually successfully ban gas stoves at all. What they might do is be able to push in so much more new regulation that changes the way gas stoves operate, or initiates new regulations on how ventilation is handled. I would see that being more likely than doing an all-out complete nationwide ban on gas stoves. I just don't see that happening. I could be wrong. It could happen, but I don't see it happening. I think the regulations, again, for how gas stoves operate and how they're ventilated would be more likely. And even if they do try to get to a full ban, those regulations will come before the ban does, I think. That's just my feeling. Anyway, I know there's a lot of prepper channels that are talking about this. So, what can we do about this? Not a lot. I mean, 35% of households use gas stoves. Make sure you have alternate sources of cooking, alternate ways of cooking, because here's the issue. If everybody switches to electricity and say it's not just gas stoves, how many homes use gas furnaces to heat with? See, that's an issue as well. So if they're going to come for the gas stoves, they're going to come for these gas furnaces. So in the end, they're moving towards banning anything gas. The problem being, we've already seen failures in the grid this past winter, or this winter, because of extreme temperature swings. Lots of people trying to heat their homes using electricity. You've got the strain on the grid from people buying and driving electric cars, which they want every car to be electric. Our grid cannot handle all of this at one time. Our grid is too old and fragile to handle this sudden switch to electric energy. So I would strongly suggest have a means of producing your own backup power, be it a generator or a solar panel with battery backups, with a battery bank. Have your own way of producing power. Have alternate methods of cooking, camp stoves, grills, what have you. Figure out ways of cooking, because they're not going to let up on this stuff. They can't afford to let up on this stuff. Let me put it that way. There's too much money to be made by pushing and this agenda and forcing people to do things against their will. You know, as I heard one person say, they have to protect us from ourselves, you know, because we're not smart enough to be able to protect ourselves. But it all comes down to power, money and power. Have an alternate source of power. Have alternate ways of cooking, and preferably have more than one alternate way of cooking. Because I promise you, if we go to all electric cars and all electric stoves and all electric furnaces, solar panels and wind power can produce a lot of electricity, but not enough to power everything that we're asking it to power. At some point, we're going to have to switch to a different energy process. Solar and wind alone is not going to do it. The only other option is nuclear. And there are people that already have issues with that. But personally, I think nuclear is going to be a big thing in the future. Again, because solar and wind is not going to be able to handle everything by itself. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves and your families. Keep prepping, folks. And until next time, I'll catch you later.